Hey, Melissa.
Hi, Lenore.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Yeah, we're hanging in there.
I like your curly hair.
Thank you. My daughter told me how to style it.
It looks really nice.
Thanks. Apparently, I was using the wrong product. It's a whole lot easier than what I was doing. Product, right?
All right. Product. Let's go.
So today we're going to talk about something called traumatic intelligence. And I do have to say, one of my clients alerted me to this, because we always hear about stuff that's on the internet and maybe it's not necessarily in the DSM-5.
Right. Correct.
Our Bible, our standard of definitions. And so I was like, oh, what is traumatic intelligence? And can you guess what it is?
Well, I would imagine it's kind of like adaptive information, right? Like
exactly.
we learn from trauma. We learn how to cope, how to strategize, how to think.
Right. Yeah. And I liken it to back in the day before we had Google Maps. The taxi cab drivers in England, because there were so many convoluted streets and it wasn't always exact how to get there, they had maps memorized in their brain. And the part of the brain that was spatial actually grew and was larger in taxi cab drivers than it was in the regular population.
Oh, I love that.
And that's like how your brain adapts to whatever. So let's just interlay that over trauma. If you've had trauma again and again and again, you become very intelligent about trauma, or that part of your brain grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I think people start reacting in every way to trauma, right?
Correct.
Or to perceived trauma, or they're always looking for trauma.
Correct. Perceived safety is on high alert.
Yeah. Or anticipation of being unsafe.
It's so true. I'm glad we're talking about this. I do talk to my clients about some of the neutral or even positive impacts of trauma. And when I say positive,
neutral impacts of trauma,
positive, people might think, what the heck? But I use the example. My clients have always said to me that I have an exceptional memory. And that comes from hypervigilance. Now, I don't always like being hypervigilant, but I like the skill that it serves me of. I will remember what a client told me forever.
I do think, though, we're like taxi cab drivers.
We are
because
like
I think that
drivers.
part of our brain has grown really big.
Yes.
Like I remember other people's stuff, but I don't remember my own.
I know. It's so funny. I'll remember my client from 10 years ago, their work enemy's name and all the details, but what I'm doing tonight, I don't know.
But I do think people with traumatic intelligence, if you will, are constantly hypervigilant.
Yes.
They're constantly analyzing who's an enemy. Like if your dad, when you were growing up, if your dad beat you up when he was drunk, right? You're a lot better off than if he beat you up randomly.
Right.
Because
you can predict.
You can anticipate. But when you can't predict,
correct,
right? And it happened to you over and over again in an unpredictable way, then you're looking for it constantly, right?
Yes.
And then what happens to your nervous system, right?
Shot.
Your nervous system is going, and it never relaxes. And I think these people can never relax. And so they're always looking out for perceived danger in workplaces or movie theaters, and they just can't calm it down, right?
Right. And then you double that with, I think when that's not addressed, we attract people to us that are dangerous.
Oh, heck yeah.
So not only are we constantly searching for danger, I think we do draw in people that want to prey on vulnerable people.
Because it's familiar? Do you think that's why?
I think it's familiar. And I think, hey, listen, as someone with a lot of trauma myself, I like when someone else is in control. I find comfort in that briefly. So that can be attractive in a friend or a partner. But that can get out of hand really fast.
Yeah.
Really quickly, right? So what seems like comfort in the beginning is because I'm running around the world, hypervigilant, constantly scanning, constantly thinking. And now this person comes into my life that's like, I got this.
Right.
That feels nice for a minute.
That's right. That's why a lot of women are attracted to policemen and right.
Yeah, makes sense.
A protector, a firefighter.
Makes sense.
It's not just because they have pensions.
Cute little outfits.
And cute little outfits. And they make nice calendars, but But they feel protected, and they feel like,
protected.
okay, now somebody else is going to shoulder this burden for me, and it feels relaxing there for a hot second, right?
Yes. And then if we're not careful, we can find ourselves continuing in a trauma pattern. Now, I'm not saying, the first responders Lenore mentioned our problem, but I'm saying what could be attractive at first, if unwatched or unmeasured, could be a sign of a more controlling person or a more dominant person or things of that nature, which can get us in trouble.
And then some people have this pattern where they, when they perceive that, they run away. Mm-hmm. They have the opposite. So they're always running out of jobs or running away from relationships because they're like, oh my God, this is dangerous. Yeah. Your brain, I think, just gets so overtaxed. Maybe traumatic intelligence is like inflammation in the body. It just gets to a certain point and it just is so bad that it just starts doing damage to everything else. Your brain gets inflamed with all this trauma. What do you think?
I think so. I mean, there's a lot of studies that autoimmune disorders come from chronic stress and chronic exposure because, to your point, your body can only handle so much for so long. But I really like what you're saying about the mapping. I think that makes total sense. So I was just talking to a friend about this the other day. We both grew up with parents who were chefs and ran a kitchen.
Oh, wow.
And
that's a traumatic job, actually.
It is a traumatic job.
Yeah, that's very stressful.
It's very stressful. And we both, as kids, grew up in the kitchens with our prospective fathers. And we talked about how it has defined our work ethic, because when you're in the restaurant industry, you go to work no matter what.
Oh,
there's no...
You're letting your team down.
There's no going to work. Yeah. And people get burned in the kitchen. They just wrap it up, keep going. People are sick. Well, yeah, you grew up in a kitchen too, in a restaurant. Yeah. And it's this idea, and like weekends don't exist. Holidays don't exist. No. And so there is this shaping of your brain. When I worked in inpatient settings, I wasn't worried about working the holidays and the weekends. We went on a rotation because that's just what you do.
Just what you do, yeah.
Where other people were like, how dare they ask me to work Christmas? I'm like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? Yeah.
But so there is that mapping, right? So when I say the positive or neutral sides of trauma, like I have a very strong work ethic. I think some of that does come from trauma. I have a good memory. I think some of that does come from trauma, and I'm okay with those pieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like need to soften the hypervigilance against myself and having no grace or sense of safety.
Yeah. And I have to soften when somebody gets angry in the kitchen. I'm like, oh, here we go. Because, I've had plates of food thrown at me by...
You're bracing for impact.
My chef dad. Yeah.
Yes. Well, that is the thing.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's so true. All of those maps we have that we have to sometimes update. Excuse me.
So what we're really talking about is if you've had a lot of trauma, you've got a lot of neural pathways formed for trauma, and you're igniting them, you're lighting them up, whether you want to or not.
Correct. Yeah. Right. Yeah. The other day, someone yelled in the kitchen I was in. It was a home kitchen. Someone yelled, and I went downstairs and I had to remind myself, like, they're just yelling. It's not, this isn't, a traumatic incident. This isn't abuse. This isn't anything other than they're yelling.
They're yelling, and the response wasn't, we should be on the Bluetooth, so we should be okay. But anyway, anything else? We're having an issue here with the cough. Did you want to say anything else about this hypervigilance? Is this something that you think EMDR can help?
Oh my goodness, yes. I mean, I work with all of my clients, and I know you do too, Lenore, to get in the appropriate, increase our window of tolerance, right? So we don't want to always be hypervigilant, and we don't want to always be aroused, right? Hypo is like, I'm checked out. So hypo, I'm frozen. Hyper, I'm fighting or things of that nature. So yes, we are working in all of the bottom-up approaches that we do here to get you in your window of tolerance and to slowly increase that so we can deal with traumatic material. But first we got to increase your window of tolerance, what you can handle.
Right. And so then, and then on the other side of it, right, what you can do for yourself is try to develop new neural pathways for calmness while you're doing something like EMDR. I think that's a good thing to do. And you could do that by meditating or going out in nature or, sitting with calm and being, constantly reminding yourself it's okay. So anyway,
All right.
what do we always say? It's all going to be
It's all
okay.
gonna be okay.
It's all going to be okay, especially if we get a cough drop. Do you want a cough drop? I have cough drops. All right. Take care, everybody.